Hey guys, so here we have our pressure cooker, and as you can see, it's sealed top and bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to wait until this makes a whistling sound. Then we're going to lift this up halfway like this, and we're going to move it off the heated stove. We're going to turn the stove off and check our peas. Now remember, the name of this game right now is just to make sure that your peas are cooked. Okay guys? Okay guys, now I have my chicken thawing in this pot. It's completely thawed right now. So I'm gonna take it out, start slicing it up, and I'm gonna put the meat in here. I had it thawing and I started to wash my meat with lime juice. Alright? Some people use vinegar. Some say the vinegar dries your meat out, so it's better to use the lime juice. I'm not really sure. I use whichever one I have. Alright. Okay guys, so the thing about stewed chicken is you gotta cut the meat up fine. Remember, our meat's been washed. We normally cut the skin off. If you like the skin, that's fine too. But as a Jamaican, we like to clean your meat. I'll do a full episode on how we clean and wash our meat. But for now, we're just gonna be taking off the skin. I'm just giving you a quick rundown. Take the skin off, get all the fat bits off, and then we just chop the meat up. Okay, we get the fat, get rid of the fat, and we take it from there. Alright, so we're gonna cut our meat up. That's the next step. Okay guys, so the noise you're hearing in the background is my pressure cooker. Now let's have a quick look at it. You can see it going off on the stove and the top spinning. Let's take you closer. About 20 minutes of that, and then we'll check on the peas. Now we've got our meat all chopped up, cleaned, everything. Some people like their skin on. That's totally fine. So I'm going to pour it in something a little bigger. And since it was all washed, I kind of like to just give it one more wash. Right, so just give it another wash. Now we're going to add our ingredients. Wash off. Okay. I've got my cutting board washed. Now first, now we're gonna add our powdered seasoning. I add my powdered seasoning first because I think it soaks in better first, and then I add liquid seasoning. Now for my liquid seasoning, I'm going to be blending. Now when you blend this, you'll have a lot to use for a while. Alright? So I don't really like blending my seasoning. So I'll blend my pepper, my scotch bonnet, my onions, my garlic, my pimento, scallion, and thyme, and your scallion. Alright? Now I have this bag. This is my blend bag. And this is what I took out to use for our rice and peas. So I don't touch these except for the pimento seeds because you're not going to use all of this, guys. You only need, if you're counting, I'd say you only need about 10. Say about 10, 15 maximum if you're going to count them one by one. I just sprinkle until the boy said, yeah, that's enough. Right, so powdered seasoning first. So the first powdered seasoning I'm going to use is my Maggi all-purpose. So it's going to go all-purpose seasoning first. And I tip some out in the cap, about this much. Tip it in. A little bit more. Then I add some jerk. And of course the final after this is chicken. So I had a half packet of jerk. Alright, so this is about, yeah, about half a packet of this. Not everything, only a half. See, I'm like down here. Now we have our chicken seasoning. Last but definitely not least. You go your half chicken seasoning. Again, I'm only at a half. Now at this point, some people use their hands. I'm wearing gloves now, so I don't mind using my hands. But if you don't want to use your gloves or your hands, that's fine. You can get a fork and jam the meat in and just stir it around until your seasoning is not powdery anymore. It's blended out. So I'm going to just use my hand like this first, because I like to let the powdered seasoning just soak in the meat a little bit first before I add my wet seasoning. So your dry seasoning is anything powdery, and your wet seasoning is pretty much anything that's got water in it. Your onion, your scallion, yeah, these are all wet seasonings, alright? And you're just gonna, so some people cut them up. I tend to like my gravy smooth. So what I do is I blend it, right? So now that my powdered seasoning is mixed in nice and it just looks creamy, like, yeah. Now I'm gonna push that aside, wash my hands. Hear the pressure cooker going. Now it would be a regular pot. Just keep checking to make sure your peas are cooked. Alright, that's all you need to do. Takes a lot longer without a pressure cooker, FYI. Alright, peeps. Now we are going to blend our seasonings. So I have two blenders, one for juices and purees and one for seasoning. So say I put the blender water to at 3 cups. Let me get this on, because this goes on a specific way. And if you don't get it on the right way, it won't work. Okay. There. So it's in. So this blender says I'm at approximately 3 cups. 3 cups of water right now. I'm gonna cut up my onion. I'm gonna cut up my garlic. I'm gonna take a handful of pimento seeds. Pour it in. I think I want another handful. I tend to like pimento in my food because it gives it a little so I just added some more. Right? Now we're gonna add our peppers. We got some more peppers. I'm gonna add those as well. I like use out your yellow peppers, guys, because those are ripening faster. Save your green peppers. Always use up your yellow peppers to cook with. Save the green ones. So like this one's ripening. You save it. You use it up. Save your green ones for when you're cooking rice and peas and so on. Nothing worse than making rice and peas without these bad boys. Alright? Now all I'm going to do is have another bag of pepper, and I just open it out and I look for these ones, ripening, ones that are ripening. They're the best ones to use. Okay, and once there are no more of those, I'll reserve. So we wash our peppers. Now I used to cut them up, but now I just throw them in whole. Everything, stem everything. Throw them in whole. Now I'm gonna deal with my. Now I don't put the scallion thing in the blender because it will get twined around and cause your blender to, can't blend anymore because these wrap around the blade and then it may cause it to stop. So what I do is I just go like this. It's a lot better without the glove. It definitely works better without the glove. These that are left back, I throw them in my pot with chicken. So first you wash your thyme, and then you try to get the leaves off and in. Excess stems, I throw them in my chicken that I have waiting for this yummy blend. So we're doing it. You hear that? That's the pot going on. That's the pot ready for me to check the teaspoon. So yeah, this takes a bit, but I'm showing you how I make my sauce as well. There's nothing special about it. It's not like it's a signature sauce or anything. It's just getting your seasonings and blending them up and having this tasty broth of stuff to use whenever you're cooking. Because you use it like a jerk seasoning. Now the next ingredient we're going to add is some vinegar because we want it to preserve it. So I'm just going to pour about that much vinegar. Cool. Now the next thing I'm going to add is my scallions, then my onions, and my garlic. There's no specific way that I add them. I just do it based on how I think I want to do it. There's no specific way. So you're going to wash your spring onions, get them cleaned up. And I normally go like, break it up. Some people like to cut the bottom because when you cut here, these ends off, and you're left with this. And we're gonna wash these again. We just got a preliminary wash. Do the same, break this off. Some people cut them as far as here and then plant the rest, and you can have onions keep bringing back up. We're not gonna do that today. So I just cut the bottom off, then I do this, and then you have it looking like this. So again, cut off the bottom. Bring it like that. Cut off the top. Now, we're blending, so some people would say don't cut the tops off because you're blending, but I still do because it's a habit. Keep my garbage here. Normally I have a newspaper, and I just put everything in a newspaper and throw them away at the end. We're going to give them another wash. Then I just go like, just bend it and throw it in like that. That's the skeleton. I might do one more of these. So now it's the onion. I'm going to strip off the outer layer like this. Then you wash it off. I'll just slice this in two because this onion is like relatively soft. Onions are. So I don't need to be cutting it up fine because I'm blending, remember guys? So I wash off my knife. Wash my onion. Wash my onion. Slice it in half. And throw it in. Repeat the same process. Top, bottom of your onion. Peel off this outer skin bit. Wash your onion. There, and I'm gonna add one more of this. Then I'm going to get more garlic. Now this is a bit older garlic. This is a bit fresher. So I'm going to use the older garlic. You know, first in, first out and all that. But for now, let's get this other piece of scallion in the blender. Remember, cut your bottom off. Then similar to the onion. Get these bits off. Put that there. Repeat the same process. Put that there. And we're going to cut off the top. Wash it. And then you got there. So now that we have everything in except the garlic, we're going to do our garlic now. I almost forgot the garlic. How could I? I don't use the whole clove. Sometimes I do, guys. Sometimes I do. It's a bit harder to maneuver with the glove, but we're gonna get there. So what I do is cut this bit off here, cut off the tip, and then you have your piece of garlic. Then of course I'm gonna wash the garlic before I put it in. Wash my hands, wash off the board. Remember, our chicken is still sitting here waiting for this yummy blended array of flavor, and it's soaking in the seasoning. Alright, so that's how I do, because sometimes a lot of Jamaicans like to marinate their chicken overnight, but if you don't have the time, this is what I do, so that at least it's got some flavor soaking in. So I just stripping off the garlic. I cut off this little bit. There you go. Cut off this little bit. There you go. There you go. So I have these handful of garlic. I like a little bit more, so I'm just gonna take a bit more off the clove. Alright, have one more. I might as well just use the whole clove, right guys? So change that recipe to 1 clove of garlic. Because you can't have too much garlic in your seasoning, especially if it's something that you want to keep for a while. The garlic works really great. The garlic works really great. With your vinegar. Now we're going to wash these. So this is what our clove looks like. We're going to wash them. Drop it in. And then we're going to cover our blender. So I'm going to get a spoon. And just, you know, just like push it down a bit, push them down a bit. Yeah. This is as natural as it gets, guys. I don't add anything else. Sometimes I might add some seasoning to it, but some powdered seasoning, meaning some chicken seasoning. But now I've decided I just want the natural flavor. So I might add some more peppers. Why do I add more pepper? Because the spicier, the less you use and the longer it keeps you. So I like it nice and pureed, and voila. Now some people add browning, some people add, I have this special seasoning sauce, it's called Season to the Bone. I'm not going to use it today because I don't want to confuse you guys, but it's the seasoning sauce that I like to use. So now we're just going to pour it. on top of our chicken. Now that's pretty much all I need. The rest of this I'm going to use like, normally I use like my old jam jars and so on. Wow, guys, if you can just smell that. Smells amazing. So now our chicken is all marinated. We've got our seasoning sauce poured over it. It's already been marinated in the powdered seasoning. So now we're just gonna cover it up, put it aside. I'm gonna clean up my area and then check on the peas and find a container for this, okay? See you guys. Okay guys, so we've added our stuffing. Now we're gonna add our browning. So this is what gives it its brown color. So we're gonna add the browning to the chicken. Now we've just put in our blended sauce, wet ingredients. Got a flying around, floating around. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, so our browning. I'm not in much. You gotta be a bit generous. Okay, guys, so we've added our blended seasoning. Now it's time to add our browning. And it's usually about 2 corkfuls or 3 corkfuls. I know the guess above now, so I'll just add it. I put some in before and stopped the video. So if you're wondering why I did such a little bit, that's because some was in it already. So we're added 2 capsules of browning. We mix it up first before, if we think we need more, we add more. Because we just want to get that nice brown look. But we don't want it to be black. Okay, guys? Because if you get too liberal with it, it'll get black. So, this is the part where I use a fork because I don't want to get the gloves too dirty. And let's mix around. Mix around. I'll show you guys what it looks like when I'm done mixing it out. But like I said, guys, you don't want to use your hand in the chicken. That's good, that's fine too. You can always do what I'm doing, use a fork and just dip it around. Rub it around. You can hear the pot sizzling in the background with the peas. Time to check if the peas is cooked, and that should only go until the peas is cooked. Alright, guys, so we're mixing out, and I think I need a little bit more browning, so I'm just gonna add a bit more. There, I think that's enough. You don't want your meat too black, you don't want your meat too white either. You want that nice brown look. Now what I do is I put the chicken in the pot and brown it first before I cook it down. Alright? And when I say brown it, I mean just fry it on each side a little bit. Alright? And this is what it looks like. So you don't see your scallions and stuff like that around because everything's blended out. And then I like to just put like a little bit of thyme, wash it, come back and just same thing I did. And mix it out again. And if you smell the flavors I'm smelling, guys, crazy. Alright, so you see I have the time pieces from when I was making this batch, so it's there. And then I have our meat looking all brown, and we're gonna cover this up, put it aside, and then get checking on our peas. Then we can start getting the pot ready for our chicken. Okay guys, so you see the pot, it's carrying on with itself. This bit here spinning. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to pull it off the stove. I turned the stove off. And now we're just going to lift this bit. Now normally it might get too hot, so what I tend to do is I'll use my knife. Come with this, you guys. That's the goal. To fill that up so the steam comes out. If you try to do with your hand and you get too close, that steam could burn your skin. So always try to use something long, some tongs, whatever it is that you have that you can just lift the tip off and let the pressure out. Once the pressure is let out, I'll check my peas to see if it's cooked. Now remember, if you don't have a pressure cooker, that's okay. What you need to do is just put your pot in with your water, your garlic water that you put to soak with your tap water, about 3 or 4 cups of tap water, and cover your pot fully and let your peas cook. Now, if you don't have any confidence in that, I would suggest you get a pressure cooker, but just keep adding water until your peas are cooked. All right, not too much water because we're gonna be adding our coconut milk. So add enough water that it doesn't dry out, okay, and burn. All right, guys. So we just checked our pressure cooker and our peas is cooked. So now it's time to season your pot. And this is where all these lovelies come in. Alright, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna catch some water in our cup. And it's gonna be pretty much to the top, just as much as the milk powder will allow you to put in. So I have my cup here, and it has water to about here. Right? I'm gonna open the packet. Move these slides on one on until I see you doing something, alright? Alright. So I empty the whole thing in it, the whole packet. Sometimes I tip water in this, rinse it out too. Now, wash this off. Now we're just gonna mix it in. Mix it in. Mix it in. And mixing it. It's mixed out. We got the powder mixed out. And now we have this of milk. Now if you have milk in the can, that's fine too. You just pour that out. Just gonna pour it now in our pot. Like this. Then I mastered that yet, but I will. So have that in. So now I'm going to add these. Wash them. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did with the blending of the scallions, and I'm going to do that. Wash these two. Washed. Add it to the pot. Right? Oh crap, I think it's freaking fire. We're gonna add our pimento, like I said, about 10 or 15. This is saved for the last part of the cooking. When we're done making our rice and peas, then we'll put this in. So we're gonna wash our thyme, put it in. We're gonna cut our scallions, put it in. Then we're gonna bring it to a boil. So you're gonna bring the pot to a boil first, let the seasons cook out and soak before you add your rice. Don't add your rice right away. Okay? You wait until everything comes to a boil first. So the coconut milk is cooked out and everything is infused, and then you add your rice. Okay, guys? And we have some jasmine rice here. So what I may do is I may transfer this concoction to my rice cooker after I've boiled it, and then I'll add the rice, and I'm curious to see how that will turn out. But for today, I won't try that. I'll just do everything the old-fashioned way. I'll try that another time and let you guys know how it turns out. So here we are with our scallion. And we're going to do it like we did before. Here. Like this. And we're going to cut off the ends. Cut off the ends. That. Like that. Like that. We're going to wash these. Top to bottom, let's wash them. Remember, they're on the ground and the dirt. You wash them, put them in, cover your pot. Now what I'm going to do is my second wave of cleaning. So I clean as you go. It makes your cleanup job at the end a lot easier. Alright, so we're cleaning as you go. So now that we have added our seasoning to the pot, I don't have a smaller pot to use because the smaller pot that I want to use is the one I'm going to use for potatoes. So here, all ready to add to our meal. So I put some vegetable oil, and you can use your olive oil or you can use your coconut oil, totally up to you. I put some in the pot, and we're going to be letting the oil heat a bit. Now some people may add some garlic or pepper to their oil while it's getting hot. I don't do that, but you know, and my chicken is already peppery and delicious because we had our awesome blended seasoning on it. So I'm just gonna give this there, we're going to be adding our chicken to the pot just to let it brown first. We already add browning, but I like to just brown it some more in the pot. So you can always have done that and cook it down if you don't have browning. If you have browning, that's good. We have our chicken in this pot. Make sure I have the cover for the pot when I'm done and ready to cover the chicken. So the pot looks hot. And we're letting the season boil out and it infuse together in this pot. And that pot is where we're going to be adding our chicken. So let's start adding our chicken. Pot looks hot. It's giving off a lot of steam. See that? Flavor. See, our pot is big enough to hold everything. So we're going to just put everything in. It's just to brown the chicken, brown the sides. Normally you would just take them out bit by bit and then put in the second batch. There's a second batch. But my pot's big enough, so I'm gonna risk it. So there's only 2 pieces left. Okay, let me see if I can add them. Well, we're just gonna have to add. Might as well. So we're putting our chicken in the pot. The last piece goes in. So now we're left with just like a gravy broth, like, and that's gonna go in after the chicken is cooked up a bit. And that's it for now. Now this bad boy is boiling. So now it's time to add our rice. So we're going to wash our rice first. And I wash it until it's clear. Water is clear. So we're gonna, so how do you know how much rice to use? Alright, so to make it easier for you guys, I'm going to use the rice cooker to finish this process. Now I'm going to transfer, because I want to be very accurate. I want when you guys attempt this, you're not struggling. So I'm going to use my rice cooker to finish the step. So after you cook your peas and season your pot, we're going to transfer what's in that pot to our rice cooker. Now the rice cooker will tell you how much rice to add based on what you have. And that, you cannot get any easier than that, guys. So let's do it. I'm going to turn this off. It's boiling beautifully. Woo. Woo. Okay, but it's still hot. So just making space. I don't know where to find so let's put them next to each other. One moment. So I don't know where to find my meat oven mitt, so I'm just gonna do this. Remember it's hot, guys, so be careful. All done. So we have this, and I'll tell you where it's brought it up to in a second. So we transferred it to our rice cooker, and it's brought it up to 8 cups. So we have 8 cups here, right? So based on the 8 cups of water, you probably need 6 cups of rice. So I'm gonna get our rice cooker. I'll check on the chicken skin, guys. So all in all, we have 8 cups in our rice cooker. Now we're just gonna turn the chicken over. Just turn them one by one so the other sides can get brown. I'm just going to turn the stove down a bit. Okay guys, so we're going to do the next step now. The chicken's there. We are going to get the rice washed. Add our 6 cups of rice to our 8 cups of yummy seasoned rice peasy goodness, and I'll show you how that goes in a sec. Alright guys, so we just poured our stock that we had left over into the pot, and you can look at it now. This is what you're looking at. So from here, we're just gonna add some ketchup and a little bit of butter. I just sprinkle it around because I do not want the ketchup taste to overpower my good yummy taste. In the fridge, I've got my chiffon butter, and And this was my ketchup, guys. You can use the one that's your favorite. Don't worry, I'm just getting the hang of this. So the butter I add is about this much. Just tip on the fork and mix it in. This is optional, guys. You don't need to. Anything from here about the ketchup and the butter are optional. But I find that the ketchup thickens the gravy a lot better. And the butter just gives it this sultry, yummy taste. Just mix it around. Mix in the butter. Then I turn my stove down because I want it now to start marinating in. So we're washing our rice. We're finished washing our rice. And we're going to be adding it to our mix now that's in the rice cooker. Okay guys, so we have transferred our delicious peas, scallion, thyme, everything in our rice cooker. We saw that it was 8 cups, so we added 6 cups of rice after washing it, of course. And now we're just stirring, and this is what it looks like. Alright, your pimento seeds, your scallion, your thyme, your pepper. And now we're just going to add salt to taste. So I normally just put 2 of these. And stir. And let's just cover. Okay, peeps. So we have five medium-sized potatoes, Irish potatoes. We've washed them and diced them up in like little. So smaller you cut them, the quicker they are to cook. All right, now here I have a pot with boiling water and some salt. And we're just gonna add. And we'll let that boil. And from there, we'll just add our mayonnaise, or butter, or mixed veggies, and our scallion and vinegar. Alright, so join us back for that. Okay guys, so meanwhile our rice is simmering down, our chicken is done, and our potatoes are being cooked, we're making our vegetables. Now we have our carrot and our grater. Now what you do with your carrot is you can use your knife to just scrape off the edges, that's what I do, or you can use the tool that comes, to scrape it off. Whichever one is fine. Then we have our half a cabbage and our half bell pepper. It's been washed as well. Alright, then we're going to have our lettuce. We get that washed as well. And then pretty much we have all our ingredients. I'm going to show you the tomatoes right now. So we add our tomatoes as well. Alright. Now I like to add them. It's okay if you don't like tomatoes, that's fine. That's totally okay. So I have my grater, I've had it for a long time, so you'll see, okay, I go over and I'm scraping off my carrot, and I usually grate my cabbage and my carrot. Some people use a knife to do their cabbage, that's fine as well. I use the grater, so I use that end. This is a bit too fine, very fine, Hell no. No, this is the side you want, alright? So that's the side we normally use. Now remember guys, I've had this grater for a long time, and I say with the cabbage, you wash everything, you wash your veggies again, and you do it like that. Just like that, and that's how I do it. Like I said, some people use a knife and just slice the tops off like that until it's done, but I grate it. Alright, and I do that with my carrot. Oh, there you go. I show you. See, I've had it for a while, so I guess it's doing its time. So that's how I do both the carrot, and I just showed you the cabbage. Now for the knife, I use that and I use that. So I use knife to do my tomatoes, my cabbage, not my cabbage, sorry, my lettuce and sweet pepper. Okay guys, so our chicken is ready, our potato is cooked, and we're just getting our spring onions ready to go in the pot. So I've added 2 forks of butter, and I've added about half cup of vinegar. Alright, we're watching our scallion now. We're gonna chop them in tiny bitty pieces. Chop it in tiny, tiny bits of pieces. So tiny. I'm chopping them up now. You hear me chopping? And I'm trying to get them as closely, finely as possible, because they're really just to give your pot flavor. And when I say pot, I mean your potato salad. Alright? Okay. So here we have our diced spring onions slash scallion. We're just gonna see that in the pot. Remember, we've added 2 forks of butter already, and we've added half cup of vinegar already. So all you need to do now is get your mayonnaise. Remember, our potato salad is still diced. We haven't started crushing yet. Now you add your mayonnaise to flavor, or not. Some people don't like mayonnaise, and that's totally, totally okay. Okay guys? Now I'm looking for my... I just had it, guys. I need to. Since I can't find my paper towel, I'll use hand towel to hold it while I get some mash on. Just mix everything in. So that's the vinegar, the butter, the mayonnaise. And not quite mash it up, but just a little. You can check if it's to your liking, or you can add more mayo or more butter to your taste. Then, last but not least, mixed veggies. And it's like this. So it's literally just and throw in. Now wash the top off. Lift it up. Barely pull it like a little because I'm draining off the water. So barely pull it, drain off the excess water that is in. Let it all drain. And then I finish opening it. Top came off. So we're just gonna empty our can of mixed veggies. And I think I want to put just 1 or 2 more bits of butter. And then we're gonna, let's mix it all in. Add a bit more mayo